I'm Craig McIntosh. I'm a professor of development economics here at the School of Global Policy and Strategy at UC San Diego. I really love hiking. I love being out in nature, and it's one of the things that I've really enjoyed about San Diego is, this is a city that culturally faces the beach, but the county has this just beautiful, big, empty backcountry that people don't really go to very much. So the fact that I can throw the kids in the car on Friday at 5 p.m. and we go up and go camping, and there's beautiful places with lots of space and lots of empty room to hike in. I really have loved that about San Diego. My other major hobby is music. I'm in a band. I play guitar in a band, and it's a great town for being able to go out and play out. There's a lot of good venues around. There's a lot of up-and-coming acts that are out there making their names, and so that's been a really fulfilling part of the last few years for me, is being able to be involved in music too. Well, I think my upbringing influenced me in a number of different ways. So I was raised in a Quaker family. My parents are both Quakers. My dad is a scientist and my mom is a historian. So I think you kind of put those features together, and I was always interested in using, scientific, hard, quantitative tools to really get in and address social science questions in a meaningful way where the answers were really clear. I spent a lot of time in Africa when I was young. I also went to University of Nairobi when I was in college for a year. And when you're young, you're just having fun spending time with other people like you, and you feel like you're like your friends. And yet there were so many differences between us, and I was standing behind this wall of privilege that was so distinct. And in particular, in high school, the competition to get into a university in Kenya is so intense. And, my classmates worked so hard, and so few of them were going to get places in college. And I was returning home to this world where I was more or less guaranteed a college education, So there's a sense there of trying to understand, where does your entitlement come from? My research interests are really on development and poverty in general. So I'm a development economist, and I've traditionally worked mostly on issues of financial services. So how can you provide, banking services, insurance services, things along those lines that help poor people who are super exposed to risk work their way up the ladder and basically build their way into the middle class from the ground up. So that's what I got interested in originally, and then as I've been working more and more in this space, I've gotten interested more broadly in anti-poverty programs, anti-child malnutrition programs. At some level, the most basic question you could possibly ask is just, does this work? But then to answer it really convincingly is anything but straightforward. Every year we've got, kind of dozens of really, really well-trained students who get excited about this stuff, really build deep toolkits at GPS, and then are going immediately out into the world and putting that to use. I really love this work. I really enjoy doing it, and I feel that it matters. And I feel the teaching matters too. And the master's teaching has really been a fulfilling part of that.